Have you ever wondered how the concept of passwords came into existence? Why did we need them in the first place? The story of passwords stretches back thousands of years to the time of the Romans. Yes, the Romans. They used what they called watchwords, essentially secret codes, to distinguish friend from foe. These watchwords, or as we call them today, passwords, were used to maintain military secrecy and security. Fast forward to the 20th century, an era marked by the rise of computers. In these early days, computers were huge, filling entire rooms, and were not exactly what we would call user-friendly. The people working on these behemoths needed a way to protect their work and ensure that only authorized personnel could access these machines. Enter the personal identification number, or PIN, a simple numeric code that served as the key to these electronic fortresses. The concept was simple. You have a secret number, and only by knowing this number could you access the computer. It was a system borrowed from the world of banking, where PINs were used to secure access to one's bank account via an ATM, and thus the era of digital passwords was born. Over time, as technology advanced and computers shrank from room-sized monstrosities to devices that could fit on a desk and then into our pockets, the need for passwords only grew. They became our digital keys, protecting our personal data, our secrets, our lives. But as the use of passwords spread, so did the threats. Hackers, cybercriminals, and even nosy neighbors realized that if they could crack these digital codes, they could access the treasures within. And thus began a never-ending war between security and intrusion, a war that is still raging today. So, the journey of passwords began with a simple need for secrecy and security. As we delve deeper into this journey, we'll explore how passwords evolved from these humble beginnings to the complex passphrases of today, and what the future holds for our digital keys. As computers became household items, the need for passwords grew. But what were these passwords like? In the early days of digital technology, simplicity was the name of the game. The use of passwords was a novel concept, a secret code to access your private digital world. However, these passwords were often as simple as they come. Think of sequences like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or common words that could be found in any dictionary. What was the reason behind this simplicity? User-friendliness. Passwords were designed to be easy to remember, to provide a seamless user experience. Imagine having to remember a complex string of alphanumeric characters just to log into your computer. It doesn't sound very user-friendly, does it? So the simplicity of these early passwords was a direct response to the needs of the users at the time. However, this simplicity came with a cost. The easier a password is to remember, the easier it is to guess or hack. And as the digital world expanded, so did the number of people with ill intentions. Hackers began to exploit the simplicity of these passwords, leading to a wave of unauthorized access to personal and financial information. The security flaws were glaring. A simple password could be cracked in a matter of minutes, sometimes even seconds. The lack of complexity and uniqueness in these passwords made them an easy target. The risk was too great and the stakes were high. Personal privacy, financial security, even national security was on the line. This simplicity of passwords, while user-friendly, was a double-edged sword. On one hand, it made digital navigation a breeze for the average user. On the other hand, it left the door wide open for hackers to exploit. The need for a solution was evident. The digital world needed a new method to protect its users, one that would balance the ease of use with robust security. The simplicity of these passwords served a purpose, but it quickly became clear that they were far from secure. As the threat of hacking grew, how did our passwords evolve to combat this? Well, as we edged into the 21st century, the digital landscape started to change dramatically. Our passwords had to evolve alongside it, and they did. The simplicity of passwords was no longer a friend, it became a foe. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or password we once used were now the keys to a hacker's easy victory. So began the era of complexity. We started using a mix of numbers, letters, both uppercase and lowercase, and symbols to fortify our digital gates. Think of it as a medieval castle. The moat, the high walls, the towers. All these layers of defense were mirrored in our passwords. The lowercase and uppercase letters were the high walls. The numbers were the guards on the towers. And the symbols, they were the moat filled with crocodiles. The introduction of these password requirements was a game changer. It was no longer enough to have a word or a simple number sequence. No, you needed a combination of characters that would make a cryptographer's head spin. The humble password had transformed into a complex code, a unique concoction of characters that was hard to guess and harder to crack. This was a necessary evolution, a response to the growing threat of cybercrime. Now, imagine trying to storm that castle I mentioned earlier, but this time the walls are higher, the guards are more vigilant, and the moat is filled with more than just crocodiles. That's what hackers were up against. Was it foolproof? No, nothing is, but it was a significant improvement. It was a step towards making the digital world a safer place. So the next time you grumble about having to come up with a password that includes an uppercase letter, a number, and a symbol, remember the castle. Remember that each character you add is another layer of defense against the hackers lurking in the shadows. Now, passwords were not just words or numbers, they were complex codes designed to protect our digital lives. But as the complexity of passwords grew, so did the difficulty in remembering them. What was the solution? Enter the age of passphrases. Instead of a mere combination of characters, we began to see the rise of whole sentences or phrases serving as passwords. This shift marked a significant evolution in our approach to digital security. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a passphrase? Well, think of it as a longer, more complex password. It could be a line from your favorite song, a memorable quote, or even a random string of words that only make sense to you. The key is that it's something you can remember, but others would find hard to guess. Here's the beauty of passphrases. While they may seem simpler on the surface, they actually provide more security than traditional complex passwords. This is because the length of a passphrase makes it more difficult to crack. Even if a hacker were to use a dictionary attack, a method where every word in the dictionary is tried, the sheer number of possible combinations becomes enormous when dealing with a sequence of words rather than individual characters. Additionally, passphrases are easier to remember because they can be related to personal experiences or interests, reducing the need for password resets and the risk of forgetting a password altogether. Imagine, instead of having to remember X7 and $JK1, you could simply remember I love to eat pizza on Fridays. That's not to say that passphrases are infallible. Like any security measure, they are not immune to hacking. However, they do offer an effective balance between usability and security, a balance that is crucial in the digital age, where the line between our online and offline lives is increasingly blurred. So the next time you're asked to create a password, consider opting for a passphrase. It's a simple switch that could make a big difference in your digital security. Passphrases mark the next stage in the evolution of passwords, a balance between security and usability. So, what's next in the world of passwords? Well, the future of passwords is looking more sophisticated and secure than ever. As we move into a world where cyber threats are evolving rapidly, our methods of protection need to keep pace. One of the potential future trends in password security is the use of biometrics. This could be anything from a fingerprint to a retina scan or even the unique rhythm of your heartbeat. But that's not all. We're also seeing a shift towards multi-factor authentication. This means you'll need more than just a password to verify your identity. You could be asked for a fingerprint scan, a unique code sent to your mobile device, or even to answer a personal question. This adds an extra layer of security and makes it more difficult for hackers to gain access to your information. Moreover, the integration of artificial intelligence in password security could also be a game changer. AI could potentially predict and combat cyber threats even before they occur. It's an exciting time in the world of password security. But with these advancements come new responsibilities. It's more important than ever to stay updated with these trends and adapt to the changes for our personal cybersecurity. The evolution of passwords is a continuous journey, and it's crucial to stay updated to ensure our digital lives remain secure. As we've seen, passwords have come a long way from their simple beginnings. From the dawn of passwords, through the era of simplicity, the rise of complexity, and the age of passphrases, our journey has been fascinating. The future holds even more intriguing possibilities. Remember, the strength of your password is your first line of defense in cybersecurity. Stay tuned to our channel for more interesting insights into cybersecurity. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications of our latest content.